Also, we are taking no damage. We are getting shot by multiple Vampire Coast units, and we are taking no damage. Also, the fact that they are running from one man, come on. You guys are supposed to be the finest fighters in the Empire. Welcome to Total War Warhammer 3, where today we are going to be taking Ungrim Ironfist and turning him into an immortal dwarf who can bring down entire armies. So here we are on turn 1 with Ungrim Ironfist being a level 1 character, and he is pretty good. He has the Unbreakable trait, has a missile resistance of 15%, has a spell resistance of 45%, and has his Red Ruin ability. His 120 armor, as well as melee defense of 50, makes it so that way he can stand up against enemy units for quite some time without having any trouble. However, these are of course low tier goblin units, so they're not all that powerful. And now on turn 3, we're going to go after a slightly different enemy, since we're going to head on up here and declare war on Azag the Slaughterer. And then back in our home province, we'll get another army to help defend Gashrak's lair. And the reason for going to war with Azag the Slaughterer was for his unique trait, which gives Ungrim Ironfist an additional 30% spell resistance, which means that on turn 6, his spell resistance is 75%. That is pretty good. So a couple turns have passed, and we have just gotten Ungrim his Slayer Crown. And the Slayer Crown does some interesting things. It increases control in the local province, which is always good. It gives some extra armor, melee attack, as well as melee defense. But the main thing that it does is give him a 10% ward save. But I think we can do quite a bit better. This is because the Dragon Cloak of Fiersker gives an additional 20% ward save, as well as some fire resistance and melee defense. The Slayer King skill can give an additional 10% ward save. And then the Rune of Luck can give 3 runes that each give an additional 10% ward save. So by this point, Ungrim Ironfist has a ward save of 50%, a missile resistance of 15, a fire resistance of 20, and a spell resistance of 75%. So while Ungrim Ironfist is pretty strong now, he's still not technically invincible, as he is still capable of taking some damage. So let's fix that. So some time has passed, and I have gotten quite a bit of Oath Gold. So there are 3 things I'm going to be getting from the Forge to make Ungrim Ironfist even more powerful. The first one is the Iron Warden's Tankard, which gives him regeneration. The second one is a Master Rune of Spite, which gives him an AoE damage ability. And the third one is a Master Rune of Gromreel. Is there a reason I need this? No, but it increases my armor by 50, so why not get it? But as strong as I may be starting to get with Ungrim Ironfist, there are 2 final things that I want that will make him immortal. The first thing that I need are the obsidian shards that I've just gotten from Zar Nagrund, and that is so I can make better gear for Ungrim Ironfist that will give him an armor of plus 35, a ward save of 20%, a unit mass of 20%, and expert charge defense, which this will put his ward save at 60% and his armor at 211. And the second thing I was looking to get was the Sword of Khaine, but that requires an elf faction to hold the settlement. So a lot of time has passed, and I've finally gotten the Sword of Khaine in the hands of an elf. And so it is time to take said Sword of Khaine from the elf. And I think I will sack this. And there we go. Now I have the Sword of Khaine, which means that my ward save is all the way up to 80%. Why? Why, game? This isn't okay. I also have the Sword of Khaine ability, Unbreakable, a high spell resistance of 85%, Perfect Vigor, and Liquid Fortification giving me regeneration. What the heck? At this point, Ungrim Ironfist is quickly going to ascend to the level of literal dwarf deity. And to demonstrate how powerful Ungrim is, I'm going to dismiss the rest of my forces from the field of battle and send him in by himself to face off against a Vampire Coast enemy. And funny enough, here is a Rotting Leviathan. Let's see, how much damage will Ungrim be able to do if he can catch up to the Rotting Leviathan? The answer is a whole lot. Oh my, that was 1 hit, and it took out a massive chunk of the Rotting Leviathan's health. Okay then. And you know what, since all of these units are up here, let's drop the Sword of Khaine ability on them. And yep, that's going to do some nice damage. Also, we are taking no damage. We are getting shot by multiple Vampire Coast units, and we are taking no damage. We are getting into fights with blobs of infantry, and still taking no damage. At most, we take 1 damage once in a while. Well, that's absolutely and utterly awesome. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stand here, and I'm going to let them open fire on Ungrim Ironfist. Come on, guys. Do your best. try to actually do a little bit of damage. Emphasis on the word try to. I just keep regenerating it. It literally can't damage me. Here, let's go after the enemy lord. Oh my, that is most of his health right there. All right, it looks like the enemy lord is not having a good time. He goes down. And there is army losses. They are down. Now, while I will consider this an amazing success, it's possible to make Ungrim Ironfist even more powerful. Since at the end of the day, this is just the first stage of the Sword of Khaine. There are 3 stages. And finally, the Sword of Khaine is dominating. That means it is at its final form. So what does this mean for Ungrim Ironfist? Well, it means his ward save is 90%, so that's a plus. Also, his base weapon strength is 1.2k, so I think what I am going to do now is I'm going to find an extremely dangerous enemy, which should not be hard considering the disaster that is the map, and I'm going to attack them with only Ungrim Ironfist. I'll dismiss the rest of the army when I find them. That's the plan here, at least. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to betray my closest ally, just so I can have 1, 2, 3 armies all charge me, hopefully in one turn. I also did pick up the Nemesis Crown. It spawned right next to me, so I do have this. So anyway, let's see if they attack. Well, we had one of them attack, so I guess this will be the army we demonstrate on. It will be led by Boris Todbringer with 3 warrior priests, which are actually really good, against 1 Ungrim Ironfist. Battle difficulty is set to very hard, and let's do this. Oh, and this is a subterranean battle as well. Awesome. And they're all the way over here in the worst formation of all time. Also, they're sending up their warrior priests ahead of the rest of their troops. Oh, that cannot go awful for you. No, not at all. Come here, warrior priest. Face me. Come on, face off, and strike him, Ungrim. Nope, you're gonna get knocked back. There we go, there's a hit, and you are all the way down by a massive chunk of your health. Well, let's just see how long do they last. I'm going to say not very long, and oh, everyone comes on in to say hi. Also, they're getting nailed with the Master Rune of Spite and Corruption of the Crown. Well, that's awful for them. You know what? Let's drop in the Sword of Khaine. Let's make all of them rampage, and then they'll all stay nice and engaged in the battle. Also, I love how I am taking 0 damage. I'm still at 5,763 health. Because between the Sword of Khaine, all of my ridiculous ward save, and Unbreakable, Perfect Vigor, yeah, I'm not going anywhere in terms of damage. Oh, let's pop this ability, and that gets me up to 1.4k for my weapon strength. Just a measly 1,400, you know? Everyone has that. Totally, totally. Oh, and just for funsies, let us drop down the Nemesis Crown ability, and I would say you guys might want to run a little bit faster. Also, the fact that they are running from 1 man, come on. You guys are supposed to be the finest fighters in the Empire. What is this? Although the finest fighters in the Empire probably wouldn't be rampaging like Coronate Berserkers all because a magical sword popped up, but you know, that's just the way it is. Ungrim, face off against Boris Todbringer and take him down. Oh, and that's army losses. Alright, awesome. 1 army did not hold up at all against us. We're still at full health, and most of their army was destroyed. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you'd be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Also, go into the comments section below and let me know what you thought of the video. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.